What's up, beautiful people? This is Christin Peeples coming to you at bossupcultureorg. I hope you're doing fabulous today. I'm having a wonderful day. It's a little chilly outside, but we'll make do. Hey, I got my Attracts Money incense burning right now because today we're talking about work. Yes, we're talking about COVID-19 and workplace bullying abuse. So before we get too far into today's topic, let's make sure that we like and subscribe to this channel and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time I release a new video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I've already cleared my space with some Palo Santo on top of the Attracts Money incense because this subject, I know kind of it could trigger some people. It certainly triggers me. So just get yourself in a bright space. Get yourself in a light space. Get yourself in a loving space, because these topics sometimes are difficult to discuss, but oftentimes we find healing in clearing the air and talking about things. So let's talk about it. COVID-19. How is that affecting you going back to work? I had a conversation with one of the legislators not too long ago, and we were talking about some of the concerns that people were having about going back to work with COVID-19 still being kind of on the rise, and they're concerned about either being called back to work or being laid off going back to work, or just being abused or having to deal with some of the ramifications or retaliation if they resist going back to work, because they're concerned about taking care. A lot of them are taking care of elderly loved ones, or they have young children at home that they're concerned about infecting. I also read an article where there was a young lady who was being forced to not wear a mask at work, and she was forced to quit her job because, she had parents at home, I believe, that were compromised. Their health was already compromised, and she was not going to put her family in jeopardy. So these are some of the decisions that we're having to make right now, where people are having to choose between their health, the health of their family, their loved ones, and going to work. And what is the easiest way to control someone when you're an adult? It's through your money, right? It's through your money. And oftentimes tactics are used in terms of mind control to control you, to get you under control so that you can continue to make your check. And that's where a lot of people fear losing that money. They fear losing their homes and everything else. Their family is depending on them to go out and make money and put food on the tables. So what do you do? And that's the situation I found myself in when I was being abused at work. I was contributing to my household, and I was concerned about what would happen if I decided my job. Was it my job or my health, right? I had to make the decision. And ultimately I chose my health, but it took a long time for me to make that decision. But I want to let you guys know that, and this is where your faith has to come in. If you have any faith in your higher power, your God, source, whatever your higher power is, know that he or she will never let you down. Know that your source, your security, your money comes from your source and not that job. And I think oftentimes we lose track of that. We look at our jobs as our providers. But in essence, it's God that's truly our provider. And we should never forget that. And when we lose track of that, that is where the mind control sets in. That is where your job can take control of you. And I'll give you an example. For me, and this is the way I equate the workplace bullying abuse that I experienced. And I'm going to put this on the level of a female. And women, you can probably relate to what I'm about to say. Say you're dating a man or you're dating a guy, and he's wealthy. He has money and he's well-to-do, or you're married. You can be even married to this man, and you're dependent upon this person, and they can treat you however they want to treat you, but this person is providing for you, and you know it's wrong. You know you shouldn't be with that person because he abuses you maybe physically or mentally. And in my case, I was being abused mentally on a daily basis every time I stepped foot into my work environment. But my excuse for going back was, it pays me well. The benefits. Where else am I going to go and get these benefits? Where else am I going to go with this seniority and make the money I'm making? These are the questions and these are the decisions that people have to, you have to weigh your options of what's best for you, right? But at the end of the day, what's really best for you is what makes you happy. And if you're unhappy, there is not a dollar amount in the world that is worth you going to work and being abused. So with the people that are dealing with having to choose, do I go to work and put my family members, my loved ones in jeopardy because COVID-19, I'm still concerned about that? And you have to be honest with yourself, because there are some people that flat out don't want to go back to work. Okay, let's just be honest here. That a lot of people are making more on unemployment right now than they were making at their jobs, which is also another issue. We have to work on our minimum wage situations, and that is why we have to get to the table for our town hall meetings. If you want to make more money, if you want to see laws changing in your favor, if you want to live a more abundant life, you have to get involved. You have to start going to your town hall meetings. You have to get involved in your community. Do not wait till things go on the ballot and then you go and check a box if you make it to the voter poll. Get involved now. Let these lawmakers know what your concerns are, what your issues are. And if it's minimum wage, that needs to be discussed. Because we shouldn't have people that's making more money on unemployment than they are when they go to work. And then having to deal with any adverse action or any kind of abuse when they do go to work. That makes it even more of an issue to go to work, right? So I wanted to kind of run down some of the what you could expect to experience if you are going through workplace bullying abuse, because it is a long list. And I can tell you honestly, over my 10 years of experiencing this type of malicious misconduct, it is a lengthy list that I don't wish on anyone. And this is the reason why I started bossupcultureorg. So if you're experiencing any of these, and I'm going to call them symptoms because it is a sickness. People that get up and go to work and terrorize a person every day, this is a sickness. And I want you to know before I go through this list that the issue does not lie with you. If you are a target of workplace bullying abuse, the issue is not you. It is the person that is inflicting this pain on you, because hurt people hurt people. And does it make it right that they're hurting you? No. But I want you to understand that sometimes we have to have compassion for people that are in a low place, that they feel so low that their mission in life is to inflict pain on other people when they simply want to go to work in peace and get their job done. So these are some of the things I experienced, and these are some of the things that other people who have been targets of workplace bullying abuse have experienced. And let me know if this is happening to you, if you're dealing with this at all, with being forced to go back to work during the COVID-19 still being an issue right now. Slander, isolation, being treated differently from your peers, being publicly or privately criticized, belittled or teased. You'll experience subtle or obvious verbal abuse. You can be shouted at. People can shout criticism at you. I experienced several teardown sessions where I was pulled in conference rooms and was told that even my face looked scary in a meeting, or that my voice didn't sound professional. Your duties are either removed or you are giving unreasonable busy work with an unreasonable timeline. You're constantly micromanaged with overbearing and constant criticism on even the smallest things. You're threatened about your job security constantly. You're pulled into HR every time there's some type of review, or everyone else is having their normal reviews, but for whatever reason, yours is special. You're being pulled into HR for yours. That's also a telltale sign. You have no manager or HR support. You are given untruthful reviews and or appraisals. And if you are in a corporate setting where you receive bonuses, you can count on your bonuses being slashed. You can experience blocked opportunities or being blackballed within the corporation or the organization in which you work in. I know for me, I was qualified for a job that I actually was already working, and I had trained people on it, and I interviewed for that same position, and they brought someone else in and gave them the position. And when I tried to leave the department, I was blocked. So you can also experience being blackballed within the organization if you try to go someplace else. The list can go on and on. Also, pay attention to your human resource file. Always keep a hard copy of that so that you can see what is going on with your HR file. Never rely on anything that's electronic. I am heavy on documentation. This is the only way that you can truly protect yourself, is documenting the people, places, times, anything that you can think of. Keep a journal of anything that's happening that you know in your heart is not right. And that's when we talked about in one of my previous videos about your intuition and trusting yourself. Know that you know when things are not right, and that's when you document. You'll start to feel outcasted. You'll start to feel sick just even thinking about going to work. I know for me, I would literally be sick to my stomach. I'd cry on my way to work. You name it. It was a disaster. You're talking about feeling like an elephant is sitting on your chest, vomiting, literally sick to your stomach. You literally feel these symptoms when it's time for you to go to work. If you experience any of these signs, I urge you to, first of all, reach out to bossupculture.org. That's what we're here for. See, for me, I didn't have an organization that I could reach out to, and that is why I'm so passionate about helping you if you are a target of workplace bullying abuse. Reach out to us. We're here for you. We have a hotline. Go to our website at www.bossupculture.org. Again, www.bossupculture.org, where we do have a resource page. I also advise, like I said, documentation is your number one defense. Make sure that you're documenting everything. If there's an issue with you emailing yourself, make sure that you print copies up if there's something that comes up in an email. Double check within your state if it's okay for you to video record. Again, these are things that you want to reach out to an employment attorney to confirm what it is that is lawful within your state for you to do to protect yourself. Oftentimes when you reach out to an employment attorney, the consultation is typically free. So I suggest that you just go through, and if for whatever reason that first attorney doesn't take your case, keep on trying until you get one who does. You would also want to file a complaint with the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity. It's a federal agency that it's supposed to keep your corporation or your job in line. In the event they are mistreating, whether they are harassing or there's discrimination, this is where you file your formal complaint. So you can go to EEOC.org. Again, that's EEOC.org. If you're in the state of Michigan, you also can reach out to the Michigan Department of Civil Rights. And they're also linked with our bossupculture.org site as well. Hopefully this information has been helpful to you. Again, you should not be forced to work against your will if you are concerned about COVID-19. Express those concerns with your immediate supervisor. Let them know if you do have a sick or if you have a parent that's compromised with regards to their health, or a loved one that's elderly that you're concerned about passing the COVID-19 on to, or young children. If they are not understanding of that, see if it's possible, or even see if you can work from home, see if you can still telecommute, because oftentimes they're willing to work with you. But if they're not, because there are some companies that are just bad companies, make sure that you're protecting yourself. Make sure that you're documenting everything. If they're saying anything derogatory towards you with regards to your concerns, just make sure that you notate that. Again, there's nothing like getting the advice of an attorney, and always reach out to an attorney to find out what your rights are. Again, I'm Christin Peeples of bossupculture.org. I hope this information has been helpful to you, and I'm here for you. Reach out to us if you need us. That's what we're here for. Love you. Bye.